My name is Bernard. I was 65 when I died. The account of my story cannot be separated from all of you who are gathered here to witness my burial. Yes, my burial, as I'm being sent off to heaven. Oh, what a lovely day it's gonna be, singing and dancing with the angels. Oh, happy day, oh, happy day, when Jesus washed all my sins away. Happy day. Oh, what a lovely day it's gonna be, singing and dancing with the angels. Sorry? What did you say? Yes, I mean you, sir. Oh. Well, I think you're judging me. Yeah, exactly. That is what you are doing. You are judging me. You do not think that I will go to heaven. Well, I know that I did so many bad things when I was still alive, but I know that I will go to heaven despite all those things because I made everything right with God. Yes, exactly. That's... Excuse me? You also think that I will not go to heaven? Oh, come on! But why are you being like that? You also did, we did things together. Yes, I know you. Oh, look, listen. Why am I even getting distracted? Look, this is my funeral. And I know that I will go to heaven. Well, yeah. So yeah, today is my funeral. Everybody is here. They are gathered here to witness my burial as I'm being sent off to heaven. Hey, should you just listen to that? Do you hear that? Funeral songs! Well, I can hear funeral songs being sung at my funeral. I love funeral songs. In fact, when I was still alive, I loved funeral songs. Me and my boys actually had a group that would sing at funerals. Oh, would entertain the guests at funerals and just make everybody's soul happy. You see, all the host needed to do was to make sure that there is a 20 liter of masese, and then we would sing and entertain the guests throughout the night. But you know, sometimes some of these hosts would not refill the 20 liter of masese. So me and the boys would communicate to these hosts politely in song, and we would sing, Dorore pa mariro, my way no naka. Dati dorore pa mariro, my way no naka. Asire pa no imi, adorore pa no. Dati dorore pa no, dorore pa no, dorore pa no. Yeah, dorore pa no imi, adorore pa no. Hey, then when we would communicate a song to the host, they would refill the 20 liter of masese, and me and the boys would sing and entertain the guests throughout the night. We sang so many songs that I really loved. You see, there were so many songs that we sang, and there were 3 particularly good songs that I loved, and these songs I would sing and entertain the guests throughout the night. One of the songs went like, Mapiro kosi, haiwa. Mapiro kosi, haiwa. Here, chagutengera mapiro kosi. Mapiro kosi, haiwa. Mapiro kosi, haiwa. Here, chagutengera mapiro kosi. Asina zamu sungira damba, haiwa. Asina zamu sungira damba, haiwa. Oh, songs that would just entertain the guests at the funeral. There was one other song that I loved, and this song went like, Wa chururu 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 iwa chururu we ma chururu we chururu 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 iwe. Watitora banga ucheke chingwa undipendi. Take the knife, cut the bread, give it to me. Titora banga ucheke nyama uise mpoto. Take the knife, cut the meat, put in pot. And the guests will be entertained at the funeral. But there was just this one particular song that I would not leave any funeral without singing. And this song went like, Vana mai vaine zone mapunu vaitofunzwa vana varipi. Vana mai vaine zone mapunu vaitofunzwa vana varipi. Kwanzi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ine iyo zvayaireva. Kuzoti 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ine zvayo zvayaireva. Kwanzi 1 wanda mabhunukani ona chutungwa nemombe. Kuzoti 3 idiritami gotikani ona 4 foraiwe. Honey bagi vaita mabhunukani ona 6 amarimani. Kuzoti 7 seva upuma wekani ona 8 amarimani. Dati 9 naiwane furakani ona 10 nakawapa. Oh my word! Yes! So yeah, today, here I am at my funeral to witness my burial as I'm being sent off to heaven. Everybody is here. People have come from as far as Tanzania. Some have come from as far as Malawi, Sweden. Some even as far as America. You see, the ones that came from as far as America are the ones that actually used to fascinate me. And this is what they would do. Yokes, don't you worry, because every little thing is going to be all right. We're going to make sure that this funeral is not a normal, but a funeral. We're going to make sure that everything is set and everything is good. So don't you worry, because every little thing is going to be all right. But hey, we come to you, God, and we ask you, God, and we say, hey, God, why you take a man of 65 when there are so many men out there don't want to get to Zana. Oh, come on. What's your problem, Dad? But anyway, guys, don't you worry. Because every little thing is going to be all right. Every little thing is going to be all right. And yet, when I was alive, when I needed you, when I wanted you to be there to take care of me, to comfort me, all you would do is pick up the phone and you'd be like, "Ring, ring, ring, ring. Hello, Grandpa. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, Grandpa, I hear that you're not feeling well. What's the problem, dog? Pneumonia? What kind of disease is that? Ah, okay. All right. All right. This is what we want to do, Grandpa. I want you to touch where there's so much pain. And when you touch where there's so much pain, we're going to pray with you. And we say, by his stripes, oh, in the name of Jesus, hey, by his stripes, you are healed, Grandpa. You are healed in the name of Jesus. So don't you worry, Grandpa, because every little thing is going to be all right. And then you had these guys. You see, we have so many of our brothers, cousins, sisters who now are living abroad in South Africa. And this is what they will do. Pick up the phone and be like, what is the problem? Pneumonia. Anyway, do you know that pneumonia is HIV related? No, I did not say that you are HIV. No, I'm saying that it's HIV related. Yeah. Listen, Kolo, I know you don't like to be called HIV. Yeah. Okay, but listen, Kolo, I will not be able to come. Things are not all right, man. My passport. If I stamp it to come there, stamp it again and stamp again, the immigration officers will ask me, hey, why do you continue stamping your passport? So I'm not going to be able to. But also, politics in my country, No, I change things there. No, I'm not talking politics, man. Okay, all right, I will not talk politics. All right, okay. All right, look, Grandpa, I will not be able to come, so I'm going to send you 5 liters. Huh? Oh, 5 liters of cooking oil. 5 liters of cooking oil? What was 5 liters of cooking oil going to do at my funeral? Maybe to be used for cooking for the guests. So yeah, here I am today at my funeral. Everybody is here, they are all here gathered to witness my burial. Tomorrow, my body will lie in state in my house. And my friend will stand behind my coffin as people circle my coffin to view my body for the last time. And my friend will sing to plead to the heavens. And he will sing. Tomorrow, they will pick my coffin and put it in the hearse and drive 25 kilometers to the graveside. There, the woman will sing and plead to the heavens. My Maria, tati bumureverere. My Maria, tati bumureverere. Kana wakata bumureverere. Oh mumurere, oh mumurere, oh mumurere, mumurere. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust is what the pastor would say. They will close my coffin with dust, stone, cement, and never to be seen again. The men are gathered outside. They are discussing what they will do with my body and whether I'm going to be cremated or thrown away. They will also decide what they will do with my property. They will also decide what they will do with my wife. My wife sits in the house and she represents the mourners at the funeral. Zvafamba. Aiwa, ndotochikudza. Mukati? Oh. Ndozvamaronga. Nandione zvichibuda mufunge zvenyu. Ndikuti zvamava izvi handikazvikwanisa inini. Munodireko kugoda kudetsera nayo. Ende munodza mukoma wenyu kuti that is not going to happen. That will not happen here at my husband's funeral. Inina Bernard, we agreed that he's going to be buried here in the city, not in the rural areas. Takatoteka mako edu. Kuzotoraka parangu apa muda kumendesa kuda kunomudya. Aiwa ndimi makauraya. Aiwa ndimi makauraya imi. Kuita sei kwacho? Go and tell your brothers, ini mamwe tine asthma. Mukakudaro people yemunokura neasthma mfuke zvenyu. Dai mangondisiya handiti. Aiwa, wete munodza. Go and tell your brothers that I will not hear any of that such thing. Aiwa kana hatiti. Nai. Aiwa budai pamunoenda. Nai. Mufunge zvenyu. Kuzotanzi murume wangu anovigwa kumusha uko. Uda kuita uda unomudya. Ndisiye. Mukati? Dear Thomas. Is he married now? He did well. That's not what I tell you. Get him a console. He did well to get married. Mukati? Nai zvenyu nai maicho kuda kundodza inini kuti hanzi murume wangu vadanomuviga uko kumusha kumaruzevha mufunge vadanomudya ikoko kumupedzesa. No, I will not see any of such. Mukati rega ndiende ikoko ndinovaudza nababikuru kuti I will not tolerate that. Handisiyei kana asikana ndisiyei ndiende. Vanozoti hakuna vanhu. Nai ndisiyei ndiende. Sokuti handidi kuti vana ndinokurudzirwa funeral yemurume wangu. My funeral was just like a comedy show. The costume was just right. The setting was just right. Everything was just okay. All you needed was cameras, sound, and you shot a film. So my wife, Imelda, she sits in the house and she's flanked by these two women, her young sister and Sawira. Well, Sawira was a very close friend of ours. Sawira knew everything about us. You see, whenever we had made any new developments in the house, Sawira knew if we bought a new TV set. Sawira knew if we were expecting a baby. She was the first one to know. Even sometimes when we had good sex. Yes, Sawira knew. I knew Sawira knew all these things because sometimes when I'm walking out of the yard going to work and I'm putting my hands in the pocket and Sawira is there looking at me, sweeping her yard, she'll be looking at me and like, yo, I know what you did last night. I did not scat. And as I'm walking out, I'm looking ahead and I'm like, would you want some of it? Or would you want some of that? Look. I mean, it ended there. And me and Sawira never got to do anything. I mean, it was just like Sawira was just like my wife, like my wife's sister. You know, so we never got to do anything. You know, yeah. She was just Sawira. Yeah. So my wife sits in the house, flanked by Sawira and her young sister. I met met my wife when I was just about 25. I'd come into the city. You see, I stayed in a place called Cherima. Cherima earned its name because, every time after 6, because there were no street lights and there was no electricity, every time after 6 p.m. it would just go whoosh, dark. And so they named it Cherima. So yeah, that's the place I grew up in, and that's the place I came to when I just come from the rural areas. You see, Cherima was built by the white people, and they built it mostly for the black laborers, the migrant laborers who would come into the city. And then as they were developing the city, they wanted more labor, and so they built these little small houses, just 2 rooms. And as the city began to grow, they needed more labor, and so more people started coming into the city, and so that meant a need for more accommodation. And so our parents then decided that, hey, why don't we extend these properties? But because these properties were not theirs, you see, they were still under city council. They devised a plan, and they renovated these properties with cardboard box, metal, wood. That is where the problem was. Because these walls were not soundproof. You see, some of us, when we came from the rural areas and we started staying in the city, we actually got our own small room, and because of these walls, they were not soundproof, you want to catch a sleep, and you want to really just relax that night, and as you're about to get there, you hear sounds of people. Mama joke and the next morning you would wake up and you see Mama Joe walking, and you're thinking, but this is the guy who was saying you're killing me, what's happening? So me and the boys devised a plan, and we drilled little small holes into the wall, and we would peep at anything. Little toddlers, would peep at girls, teenagers, would peep at married women. Oh, my favorite. Would even peep at old women. Yeah, but we would peep. Mira, just wait. Mira, can. My older brother did not want anyone to ask for permission to watch if he was the first person to watch. So he would wait for you until certain limbs in your body are beginning to make some certain movements, and you're watching. And as you are doing that, he will just sneak up on you. So Cherima is a place I grew up in. Cherima taught me a lot of things. Cherima taught me to hustle. I would sell cigarettes. Matson Kings get you arrested. Matson Kings get you arrested. Tuturuboy Mazai Mazai. Achana Mazai. Chukupayere Mazai. Chukupayere Mazai. Matson Kings get you arrested. Cherima taught me a lot of things. I remember playing soccer on the streets of Cherima. I loved soccer, man. I loved to play soccer. I would kick anything. You see, one day, as I was coming from the shops, my young brother made a ball, and he put a huge stone inside, and he wrapped plastic paper around it, and it was a smooth, nice ball. He threw it towards me when he saw me coming. It was like, Bruce Gropella, Robapora, and not wanting to be outdone, I was like, hey, Diego Maradona, I kicked the ball so hard. Oh my word. It flew up into the air and fell close to where my young brother was lying there laughing at me. Hey, have you ever felt pain that makes you want to dance, but you can't dance? Pain that just makes you go down and you're like, I'm going to revenge you. I'll revenge you to go to oh, all right. I want to revenge, and revenge is out. And indeed, one day I got my revenge. Talk of the devil. My young brother, Perseverance. Yes, Perseverance, that's his name. Well, is it not funny that we as Southern Afrikaners name our children these funny names? Names like Persuasion, Patience. Who does that? You know, I actually know of a guy who was called by the month of a calendar month. By the name of a calendar month, yes. His name was July. And then we were playing outside, and then his mother would just call him, July! And he'd be like, Ma! Oh my word! Look, I actually know a guy called Friday. Yeah. You see, I'm thinking that maybe his father was some kind of Malawian guy there, and he's standing there and he's like, hey, makolokoto ndedu tese, haya makolokoto akaita. Kwakasaro mwana mkomana. Mwatichi? Zita le mwana. Zita takati sati tafunga zita yesu. Asisa kaiti kakayanga ili mswe Friday. Oh, Friday, believe me. I didn't say that's how it came out to be, but I'm just thinking that probably, yeah, that is what happened. So yeah, my young brother, Perseverance, he's at my funeral. He walks into the house to where his wife is sitting, and he kneels there, and he begins to talk to his wife. But his wife is not really happy by what he's asking for. So eventually she gives in and takes out a key and hands him that key. He takes the key, smiles, and starts walking away. It reminded me of one day when his wife came to me and said, hey, Baba Mkuru, please. Please just go and talk to him so that things are okay at home. So I manned up and I'm like, okay, I know he's my young brother, I will talk to him. So I took my young brother together with a friend of mine, and we went to the pub, and we were at the pub there having some drinks. And then I broke the ice and I'm like, hey, look, Perseverance, look, your wife is not really particularly happy by your behavior. You know, she says that I'll because, I mean, of your behaviors, you have a lot of concubines. So what's the problem? He stood there and he was like, what did she say? One thing that I want to tell you is that even if I do not go home one day, or the second day, or the third day, it does not mean that I do not love my wife. The fact that eventually, even if it's the 5th day or the 10th day, I go back home, I love my wife. You see, don't you forget one thing that the Word of God says. The Word of God makes it clear that go out there and populate the earth. And so for me, that is simply what I'm doing. I'm populating the earth. So I have a problem. So, I'm not problem. Yeah, you just looking at me dumbfounded. Like, I didn't find out what is really what me. Because you see, one of the can green now. I'm not Taris, what is what I should agree with you. I'm taking her out now. Hey, I'm to do oh my God, I can pay for the services. Wait, no, look, case closed in that way. Okay, I bought the drinks for you. If you want to, you want it, I watched my young brother walk out. They left us in the bar. And as he was walking out, he was limping. And you know, the limp reminded me of this day when I almost lost my young brother. You see, we had our dog growing up, and our dog was called Shumba. In my language, Shumba is lion. So we named our dog Shumba because we felt Shumba, our dog was Shumba, everything Shumba. He was Shumba. So, you see, one day, whilst we were at home, we were flipping through the magazines, and we saw, hey, white people walking their dogs. White people walking their dogs. We're like, hey, why don't we walk our dog, man? We need to do like the white people do, man. So we look for a little rope and we put a leash on our dog and we say, hey, let's walk our dog. But then we decided, hey, we can't walk our dog here in the high density suburbs, because if we were going to walk our dog here, people will laugh at us and be like, oh, and we're like, no, we do it like the white people do. We go into the low density suburbs, man. So we started our journey. We started walking our dog in the low density suburbs, and as we were walking our dog, some other dogs started barking at us. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Our dog, Shumba, started barking back at these dogs. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And I was like, you Shumba with serpents. And Shumba would knock back down. Whoa, whoa. And as we were walking past this huge dog just slips over. He looks at Shumba, starts eyeing Shumba, and the two dogs started eyeing each other. And then the dog started fighting. Started fighting. I realized, hey, this was not a scene that I could be at. So I ran. I took to my feet and stood about 20 meters away from where these dogs were. My young brother was there with the dog leash, and he was pulling Shumba. Then this huge dog turned on Shumba, and it clashed his jaws on Shumba. And Shumba was on the ground. My young brother realized that Shumba was losing the battle. So my young brother leaped onto this dog. And when he leaped on this dog turned on my young brother. And this Shumba was running towards me. I realized that my young brother was in trouble. It clutched its jaws on my young brother's hip and started tearing and ripping it apart. Oh, I realized that I had to do something. I'm standing 20 meters away, and the dog is ripping my young brother apart. I ran towards the dog, picking dog poo paper, everything, until I get to this dog. And I leaped onto this dog. And within 3 seconds, this dog just left the scene, limping, going towards his house. And there I am standing. I looked at my young brother, and he's there with a pool of blood beside him. I point to the pool of blood and I'm like, Yesha, Honaropa Sha. And my young brother looks at the blood and he's like, So yeah, I help my young brother to stand up. And so I get hold of his hand and pull him up. And when I let go of the hand, my brother is about to fall and I grab him. And I realize that, oh, my young brother is hurt terribly. And we needed to go to the hospital. So once there, I started waving at cars. I started, and cars were going whoop. Then one car stopped. And I said, my young brother has been hurt. He was attacked by a dog. Can you help us go to the hospital? This guy says, okay, no problem. So he helped me take my young brother and we put him in the car. And as the car is driving away, I'm seated behind. I've regained my consciousness. I realized that, oh, Shumba is not with us. So I look behind and I realized that, oh, our dog has been left behind. And I pecked on this guy. Sir, please, can you wait for our dog? He's just behind. Please wait for him. Young man, the dog will sniff his way home. Still remember. And I'm behind there, my young brother there, and the dog is behind us, trying to catch up with the car. And the gap between the dog and the car started increasing, and increasing, and increasing, and increasing, and increasing. Oh my God! The chauffeur was left behind. The gap continued increasing.
Masumba eda baba, Masumba eda, Masumba eda baba, Masumba eda baba, Masumba eda, Masumba.
And that was the last day I ever saw of Shumba. So, my young brother was taken to hospital, and my parents gave me a huge beating. I was beaten so hard. I could hardly walk. My bums were so sore. I could hardly sit. My bums were so sore. My legs, everything about me was so sore. My brother came back from the hospital, and he came back home. And we started spending a lot of time together. Because my brother was recuperating and I was also healing from these beatings. It was so sore, I couldn't do anything. But you know, this time we had with my young brother, where we spent this time together, was the time when I started learning how to tell stories. But most of my stories were stories that I made up, stories that were fictitious. You know, I made up everything. I started lying from that tender age. You see, I even continued lying even into my marriage. You see, one day my wife found me with pants down, you know, and I was doing it. I was doing the deed. I was doing it. And she walks in and I just let this girl go and I take out my trousers and I'm like, what? What did you see? Imelda, I think you have a problem, Imelda. Were we doing anything? Imelda, no problem. I was just trying to give this young girl an opinion. We don't see opinion. Imelda, this girl is innocent. Seriously, I'm not total. But I lied. And my wife sometimes even believed my lies. You see, the stories that I made up were quite fictitious. All they had everything. They had the characters, the music was just right, the costuming. My young brother could visualize everything. And my young brother loved my kung fu stories. You killed my father 10 years ago, and I'm gonna kill you. I killed your father 10 years ago, and I'm gonna kill you too. Stories. And you see, when it was time to sleep, my young brother would be like, hey, Bernard, so what happened to the son of the co-stallion who was killed by the stallion? And I'll be like, that will be part 2 and I will tell it to you tomorrow. Let's go. And as I was about to sleep, he would knock me again and he'd be like, Bernard, I think I know. You see, what happened is that the son of this co-stallion grew up, and then he saw the stallion who was now old, and he's like, you killed my father 10 years ago, and I'm going to kill you. And I'll be like, I do part 2. We're going to sleep now. And we'll sleep. Like I said, everybody is here. They are here to celebrate my dad. Obloza. Obloza, that's his name, my friend. See, I met Obloza when we had visited this Men Anonymous clinic. Do you understand what I'm talking about? The Men Anonymous clinic? I mean, where you sit in a circle and it's everybody there, and you are asked to introduce your name, and you say the reason why you are there, and you'll be like, hi, my name is Bernard. My wife says that I cheat. So I cheat because my wife says that I cheat. Okay, all right, okay. Oh, no, I get it. No, we're not supposed to talk about the wives. Okay. I see. Yeah, all right. Hello, everybody. Hi. Hello. Hi. My name is Bernard. I cheat. Oh my God, I cheat. I do not know what to do with myself, and I need some kind of help. I cheat a lot, and my wife is getting tired, and soon she probably might just leave me, and the marriage will be over. So I'm here because I need help. Yeah. So that's the kind of group I joined, and that's where I met Obloza. So me and Obloza joined this group because we really wanted to be rehabilitated. In the first month, it was really difficult. Just trying to leave your phone date was just difficult. You see, I actually know that I used to take my phone into the bathroom and be bathing there with it. It was okay if at least the phone fell into the water. That was all right. Than for my wife to get hold of my phone. So, first month, was really difficult. Second month, things were beginning to take shape, and third month, oh yes, I mean, I could leave my phone actually. And when the phone rings and I'm bathing, I'll be like, hey, life on me. Now I was comfortable, I was okay now. It was 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. I mean, the rehabilitation program was about to end, and so me and the boys decided, hey, why don't we hit the club and celebrate, man? We are doing very well. So, I mean, after the session, we went into the club and we were there. We started drinking, enjoying ourselves. Things were fine, enjoying ourselves. Things were fine. And then we're like, hey guys, it's time to go home. I mean, we're doing well, let's go back home. And as we were about to leave the club, we met this group of young, beautiful girls who came in and walked into the club. And one of them looked at me and she was like, hey, I know you. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, bye. All right, and I wanted to proceed, and she said, no, seriously, I know you. Can I get an autograph? And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, and I'm standing there, looking at this beautiful girl, and right, temptation really started coming back. And this young girl is standing there. She takes out a pen from her purse, and she gives it to me. And she handed me that pen. I looked at the pen and I was like, okay, so where do you want me to sign the autograph? And she's standing there. She takes her boob out of the bra, and there it is. And I'm standing there, looking at that boob. I'm like, you mean you want me to sign there? Yeah, boys, I mean, look, just a signature, right? Yeah. So I get hold of this boob and I look at it. I try. I sign it. Okay. Right. And as I'm about to walk out, the girl is like, hey, but why are you leaving the club so early? Why don't you just have some drinks with us? I'm like, hey guys, why don't you just have some drinks with the ladies? Yeah, just one or two of them we go, right? Yeah, besides they're paying. Yeah, so I convinced my boys, and then we got back into the club, give her back her pen, and we started enjoying ourselves. One drink became 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Oh, I got so drunk I didn't know how to even spell my name. So, the following thing is that I woke up in a room that I didn't even know or recognize. And there I'm lying there in that bed all alone. And I look around, there's no one in that room. Then I realized, oh my word, something bad had happened. I was not at home. I looked for my car keys. I looked for my clothes, got into my clothes, quickly, got out of the hotel room and went into the car park, started looking for my car. There my car was. Quickly went into my car, jumped into the car, drove straight home. And when I got home, my wife is standing there waiting for me by the door. And when I was about to talk to her and say, good morning and explain, she's like, speak to the hand. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So she goes and walks into the car, and I go straight into the house and quickly took a shower and a change of clothes, and then came back. And when I got back to the car, my wife was there in the car, seated by the passenger seat. And there by my seat was a woman's panty and a bra. They'd been thrown there. And so I looked at them first, and I was about to explain to my wife, and my wife was like, speak to the hand. And I realized that she didn't want any kind of conversation around these things. So I took these things and I put them in the middle of the two car seats, started the car, and started driving the car out of the yard. And as I'm driving out, going to work, heading to work, she takes these things that were in the middle of the two car seats and throws them in between my legs. A journey that was supposed to be a 15-minute journey was like a 45-minute journey, like a 1-hour journey. It was long driving the car. So I dropped my wife at her workplace. And when I dropped her at her workplace, I drove straight to my workplace and I spoke to my supervisor and I'm like, supervisor, look, things are not okay at home. I need your help. Please just help me. I need your help. Please transfer me. I need to just go to another place, another branch where I'm not staying in this city. Please, I just need to move. And my supervisor was like, Ish, look, we do not have any openings, but if there are any openings anytime, surely I will be in touch and I will let you know. Oh my word. When I went back home, my wife had changed to set up the sleeping arrangement. She was now sleeping in the main bedroom and I was supposed to sleep in the spare bedroom. Ish. We're now living separate lives in one house. She didn't want anything to do with me. Oh my word, this was the worst time of my life. Then one day my supervisor called me and he tells me that, hey, there's been a job opening in Mutare. I'm like, yes, I'm taking that. I'm definitely taking that. And you see, I was transferred and I started working in Mutare. And then I do not know, by God's grace, I think my wife started missing me and she started then calling and writing letters, calling and writing letters. So we made up and we were good again. I was like, yeah, maybe distance would work for us. Then one day, as I was at work, I received a call. Kring, kring, hello, how are you? Yes, hi, how are you? Who's on the other side of the line? Sorry? Okay. Hey, I remember you. Yes, from the other night, yes. Yes, so how are you? Oh, great to hear. Well, look, I'm a father already. What do you mean that I'm going to be a father? Oh. Mane. Okay, Mkomana. Alright. The lady from the club had called me. She was carrying my child. We now have a child together. What was I going to do? So communication started. She would start calling me. She was writing me letters and my wife would also visit me in Mutare. She would call me. She would write letters to me. And for me, things were okay like that. These two women apart like that. Things were fine. I was managing it very well. Then one day, when after the baby was born and the baby had grown a little bit, this lady then calls me and she's like, hey, look, I would want you to take photos and you send these photos to me so that I can show them to your son. Because, he needs to know who his father is. I'm like, okay, photos. That's not even a problem. So I then decided, hey, I'm not going to do this on my own. I'm just going to go to look for professional photographers. Then they'll take these photos for me. So I decided that as I was going back home from work, I walked through this park where these photographers are. So I walk into this park and I'm like, hey, how are you? How are you doing? Yes. So I would like some photos taken. How do you do it? Yeah, nice. Interesting. Oh, that's beautiful. So how much? Okay. All right. The chat's okay. Hey, how are you? Yes, I would like some photos taken. How do you do it? Okay. Lovely. Hey, how much? Oh, all right. Okay, the chat okay. Hey, how are you? Yes, how much are your photos? Okay, beautiful. So, how do you do it? Oh, nice. Okay. Beautiful. All right, let's do it. Photos were taken of me. And I had to wait for this guy to process these photos. So I gave him my address and then he said that he was going to send these photos on a Thursday. So I waited for these photos to be sent to me. So these photos did not come on a Thursday. They then came on a Friday. When I just come back from work, I saw them under the door and I'm like, okay. Well, I took an envelope and I penned the address to this lady. And I sealed the envelope after putting the photos in there. and I put it on the bed. And as I just put it on the bed, my wife walks in. And she's like, yeah, I'm here. And I'm like, oh, yaka, all right, mato shika. All right. No, there's not even a problem. Yeah, that's fine, yeah. Yeah. And she's like, okay, so the envelope on the bed, whose is it for? I'm like, hey, look, I'm actually going to put an address on this envelope and put a postage stamp. There are photos in there, and I'm going to send this to you by post. And she's like, no, but why don't you just give them to me since I'm here? And I'm like, no. Why do you want to spoil the surprise? There are things in there, nice things that I have set for you, and I want them to be with you. You should receive it by post. And then the following morning, I decided, hey, I'm going to go and take a shower, and then, do some breakfast for my wife, and then spend the day with her. And so after coming from the bathroom, I saw my wife seated there by the bed, and she had opened this envelope, and she had read the poem that I had penned to this beautiful lady of mine. And my wife just threw it on the bed and was looking at me. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to explain to her, but my wife didn't want to have any conversation around those things. So I applied some lotion, and I put on some clothes. And I told her that I just wanted to go out a bit and get some smoke. So I walked out of the house.